Hi, everyone, and welcome back. Today's Friday, and I'm gonna be real, I am a mixture of wired and exhausted. Because Wednesday's stream, which, for historical context here for anyone watching in the future, was my first of the Toho Project ones, alongside Dr. Nairi A. Bakalian, and that went so well and was the result of so much planning. And I am it went so well, but it also made me realize that I never actually announced what the next Friday game was going to be. And so, to announce it as we go into it, it is Teardown. Teardown is a voxel game that is very, very focused on worldly destruction and a physics engine in which each voxel is made of a material and can be broken and sticks to itself in a way that makes sense for the material that the voxel is made of. All of this to say, this game has absolutely gorgeous demolition physics, and it uses it for a somewhat unique purpose that I think is really interesting, actually. This game isn't a race, at least not at the start. This game starts out being meditative, and as you'll eventually see here, each of the levels starts out with a just sort of, you could say, casing the joint, followed by a rapid fire, do as much as you can, as fast as physically possible, like heist phase. But enough describing how this game will work. Let's watch it in action. Oh yes, one more thing. This game has received a lot of updates since I last played it, so some of this is going to be unfamiliar to me. For example, we have characters now. Apparently you can be third person in this game now, which means that you have your own character that's rendered. That was not the case when I played. Let's go. Okay. This was appearing moments ago. There it is. Okay. So, we have a list of a few different potential protagonists now that, a character exists at all. And I'm kind of debating between Lisa, Keiko, and maybe Fumiaki. Yeah, I think I'll go with Keiko. Let's get into it. Wild. I'm sure the game having a third-person feature means nothing to someone who isn't already familiar with this game, but from my perspective, that is wild. Head bob I probably want to turn down for the sake of the stream. Pro Striker 92. Happy to see you here. Meowdy to you too. Teardown long time ago, didn't know you could choose a character now. Game has changed a bit. Exactly. I am in the exact same position here of this game has transformed a lot since I last played it. There's like 15 different DLCs for this game now too, something like that. So we can right-click on a object in order to physics grab it, and then we can pull it and move it. And for heavier objects, you'll notice it doesn't directly follow our movements. to simulate its weight. So if we were to try and lift this car, for example, we can only just slightly push it. Hey, Kippers. So, we are, as you can see from the outside, a worker at Lochel Teardown Services. We're a demolitions company. And here are our tools. Fire extinguisher, very important. A bit of a spray can that we can use that allows us to mark things with orange paint. A very badly drawn slide. And, of course, our wonderful, wonderful sledgehammer. Gotta turn on the fuse. Very notably, this game decisively does not have a sprint button. The walking speed I'm going at is my speed. I might turn down the smoke effects a little bit because it gets a little bit in the visual way of seeing the destruction you do. Let me see if I can do that here. Particle density medium, maybe. Go inside and check messages. Construction significantly outweighs demolition. Demolition business just isn't what it used to be, says Tracy from Lochel Teardown Services. We are apparently on hard times right now. Gas bill just dropped on the floor. Honestly, I'm not sure if we can make it through the month. Are you getting any requests? At this point, we pretty much have to accept anything. Be creative. Hugs, Mom. Head of Sales, Lochel Teardown Services. This just came in. Sounds kind of fishy, but we need the money. You up for it? Good evening. My name is Gordon Wu, General Manager at the Evertides Mall. I have a slight problem with an old building that's blocking our plans for a new wing, and I need someone to knock it over. Need it gone by tomorrow, and I'll even be willing to pay more than the standard rate for some extra discretion, quick execution, and uncomfortable working hours. Able to take care of it? Up Evertides Mall, an upscale shopping center by the waterfront managed by Gordon Wu. Also in the area is Lochel Municipality Folk Museum. Mission 1. So as you can see, 5.2 meters too tall this building is. Yeah. This game does have that physics quirk of a single voxel can hold up an entire structure. But from my understanding, that is to some degree intended, as there are going to be challenges where you are going to want to make significant damage to a building while still having the building intact enough to use. If we can't break the brick with our sledgehammer, this might work. Demolition complete. Not sure if I said already, but hey, Kippers. I think I did, but just to make sure. Loch Elm Municipality Folk Museum. Job done. There's a little bit of cute implied storytelling here with how the place looks as we continue through the missions. So keep an eye on our home as we continue to work on it. I also like the voxel size leading to tiny sort of... These give the impression of foods. Who knows what they are? Maybe this is a case of beer? Or no, that's maybe a birthday cake. It's made of metal. Never mind. Now, Folk Museum has been demolished. Caretaker and enthusiast Brett Johnson found the building razed when arriving this morning. According to the police, the perpetrators did a quick job on the old building. Investigation has been opened. We destroyed a historical site. Ugh, what a morning. Shouldn't have taken that job. I knew something wasn't right. The building was under cultural heritage protection, and the demolition is now part of a criminal investigation. Mrs. Turdeman at the police just sent me this photo. They must have caught you on a traffic camera heading toward the mall. The very last thing we need right now is an investigation. I tried sweet-talking her, and she thought she could get the case dropped, but asked for a favor in return. I don't know what she wants, but just do it. She'll email you directly. Parissa Turdeman. Just so you know, I don't usually do this, but I'm stuck on a case and I feel like I should try something new. I've been investigating Lawrence Lee Jr. over tax evasion for months now, but he has so many friends in town that I can't get a warrant. How about you use your skills to borrow the computers over at Lee Chemicals so I can finally access his customer registry and sort this mess out? If you do this for me, I'll make sure your little blunder will be forgotten. Parissa, criminal investigator at the Loch Elm Police Department. And yes, that mall needed a new parking lot. Operated by the Lee family for 3 generations, Lawrence Lee Jr. showed a promising start but developed a weakness for fast cash. He is now a well-known name in the criminal underworld. Lee Chemicals, 1922. We have 3 objectives. One is on our level, one is upstairs, and another is upstairs. Disc cutter worth 60 bucks. In the maps, a very fun activity that you can do, at least in my opinion, is wandering around and stealing various valuables that are hidden, that aren't tied down, and you're also rewarded for it. Locked. There are numerous solutions to opening a locked door, including, you know, this fancy truck over there, but this should do. Building inspector, fire safety inspector. Free soda, not at Lee Chemicals. Coffee Max 2000. Didn't catch. Good Life by Enid Kumans worth 25 bucks. Attic is off limits for all employees. Another painting worth 15 bucks. Paper jammed printer. Well, if the attic's off limits, why would that be? Yeah, come on. I have an idea. There we go. Lee's tax-deductible pension fund, 400 bucks. $50 Shades of Capitalism. It's a gap in the wall. I've played a lot of this game. And I remember at least quite a few of the locations of various secrets. $60 microscope. So I mentioned earlier that there's like a palm phase and then an action phase. That's not the case for the first couple of levels, but we will certainly be getting to that soon enough. Just in case. Ow. Okay, our last target's just up at front. Free computers. More secret cache. Break in at Lee Chemicals. Property damage. Managed to get away with electronic equipment. Lawrence Lee Jr. says they'll upgrade security. Up and running again soon. Tools. No upgrades available for any of these. Customer registry indicates Lee has worked almost exclusively with a single client recently. Only referred to as BT and no further details, so I really have to bother you with one more favor. Head back to Lee Chemicals and fetch their employee login devices. Should be able to cross-reference their log files with the delivery schedule, figure out where they are moving the product and what BT means. They installed a new security system. Be careful. Anti-theft protection system. Willis security. reserved parking spot, and he's smart enough not to park there anymore. Considering what happened last time. Looks like he's setting up armored windows and secure doors. And we've got one item in here, apparently. But we're gonna have to find a way to break into it. This'll do. Some nice explosive propane canisters. So I'm going to quick save. And herein lies the gimmick. We need this item. That is non-negotiable. When we take it, we have 60 seconds. Oh, he just moved his car. He didn't actually move it to anywhere safe. Oh yeah, safe. Flashing lights warning, sorry. And yes, we need all 3 items. And once we pick up the first one, the alarm goes and there's no preventing that. We have to collect all of them. So, herein lies the core idea behind the game. Our goal is to make a path. We need to break the buildings in a way that we can run from one objective to the next, uninterrupted, and steal everything and get out within 60 seconds. There's one there. Ooh. Titanium screwdriver bits, hell yeah. Get ourselves some barrels and stack them up. Quick save. And this is the purpose of the spray can. Help you plan out your route. Fancy alcohol. So as you can see, the game sort of swaps between a sort of relaxing and wandering experience of planning things out, and then swaps over to a high-octane mad rush. That jump seems dubious. I might just want to... Yeah. Probably take that route. And then we also need to escape, so... This could prove useful. Might work. And lastly, we need to bust that gate open. Let's use Lee's truck for that. And let's put Lee's truck in a nice convenient position. We should be set now. Just gotta find my way back up there. Make quick save. Go. Bam. 34 seconds to spare. We also get a nice 3D render of our pathway. As we progress through the game and get more tools, you are allowed to visit previous levels to try and improve on them. So if you want to play this game as kind of a score attack thing, you absolutely can. A blowtorch. As you can see, we've been, looks like, working on reinforcing the roof, and got a little bit of a skeleton of a room up here. Consecutive break-in. Might be related to the last one. I turned off the gas. I can't even make a proper coffee anymore. We really need to bring in more clients. I'll reach out to Gordon and see if he has something else. I haven't heard back from the police. That thing sorted? Thanks for helping me out with that building. The police were snooping around a little, but it seems to have cooled off now, and we can finally start construction. I actually have another job for you. See, I bought this yacht recently, but it's too large for the marina and the board says there's no space for a new dock. Could you use your demolition skills again and remove one of those timeshare cabins? If the original documentation also disappeared, then... ta-da, it's like it was never there. Hello. I think the cops might be kind of incompetent. What could BT mean? Who's the BT client? Oh yeah. High-value sunglasses. An unemptied cash register. These places are just begging to be hit. Demolish that house. Dump 2 safes into the ocean. Decorative swordfish. Who locks a refrigerator? Oh, restrooms. It's cute how with just a tiny pink and blue placard on the door, it gives the impression of a bathroom sign. Pro Suck vacuum cleaner. You know, back in college I had a nickname that was... Never mind. Gordon Permit. Other questions? Bitter tea. Could be. Well, we don't actually know what BT is. It's very clearly a company name if they have a big advertisement, so, come on. Not only is that cop corrupt, but they're also incompetent. Big surprise. Damn thing. Has to go into the ocean. Oh, the way it cracks the ground like that is so cool. I love this game. Move, you... Ah. May Davy Jones take your secrets. Wants to meet with its friend, the car battery. No secrets in this attic. Call security company and replace printer. Should have called that security company just a bit earlier, buddy. Now you got 2 printers to replace. Right then. Can you hotwire a boat? We can, apparently. First person for the boat view doesn't quite... Not quite helpful. On. Bone basher. Mr. Ammontide's visit, Lee's birthday, other topics. Man, we're screwing over Lee again. Or at least one of Lee's friends. Eh, supposedly corrupt. Supposedly a local criminal, local organized crime figure. Not that we're much better here. It is you, Cone Basher. And me. Strangely familiar. Oh yeah, I guess that is something that we... That machinery is something that we saw at... I already forgot his name. At other guy's place. Junior. Lee? Yeah, Lee. I have a plan. Not sure if it's a good one, but... Oh, that knocked it loose. Good enough to ruin the papers. Hunk of amethyst in the ore processing station. Fresh fish. I do appreciate that if you blowtorch out the actual, like, where a lock would be on a door, that does unlock the door correctly. Like, it is actually sealed in that spot in particular. Wanderman sonar. And last, of course, we've got some timeshares that need to be destroyed. Might not have some fun while we're at it, though. We're not under a time pressure this time, so we can afford to destroy vehicles that could have been potentially useful later. I imagine this isn't going to work, but, you know, let's find out. Careful. Careful. Anything of value in this timeshare? Yeah! Oh, a designer life jacket. Do they make those? They probably do. Oh, I have a flashlight. Didn't even realize. If I'm careful and control it, I could have some fire help me with this. Looks like it's being held up by this spot. Come on. This thing turns like absolute garbage. Goodbye, house. Sextant. Some nice radios. High quality flashlight. And we are ready to bail. Mission complete.
To another place.
Shotgun. Oh my god. Without evidence, the rumors still persist of a ghost cabin. We've accidentally created a ghost story out of this. Short range tool causes medium damage on most materials. Decrease with distance. $60 of blowtorch. And significant upgrades for the shotgun. As a reminder, ghost stories are made by people. So true, bestie. Fantastic work at the marina. Looks like it worked, because they just cleared a construction permit for the new dock. Another thing came up. There was this classic car auction up in Black River the other day, and one guy kept overbidding me. Lawrence Lee Jr., that youngster who inherited the chemical plant a few years ago. Absolutely no interest in cars, he's just looking for ways to rotate his dirty money. It's a Gauss Seidel B-50, the one they used in Seal the Deal 2 and Colonel Wilson's personal Jacoby from Normandy. Lee is about to put those cars on a ship overseas any day now, and they'll be out of the country for good. If that's not criminal, I don't know what is. Can you help me acquire these 2 gems? I'll take good care of them. Steal 2 cars. We need to get 2 cars to this circle here. One is aboard a ship, and the other seems to be out in here. Spare parts. Let's see if those documents are alarmed. Good morning, my friends. Yes, they are. Good to know. So, this is a mission that, we've had optional objectives before, but this is a mission that contains an alarmed optional objective. So, if you're fast enough, you can get this stuff too. You're going to need to think pretty carefully on how you actually want to approach that. With that, we can access it from ground level. But, again, if we yank it out of the range of that wire, then alarm activates. One of our targets is apparently right here. This boat handles really weird. And so if we were to drive the vehicle out of this crate, then the alarm would go off. So maybe we can move the entire crate with us. Hey, that's a big old crane with a hook attachment there. Quick save, because I can absolutely accidentally trigger this one. Make sure, when you're playing this game, quick save often. It's always a good idea to quick save before you do anything remotely related to an alarm box. Break that gate so it doesn't ruin us later. And we'll park this here for now, but we might use it again. Looks like we didn't... Yeah, vehicle's still in good condition. Good. Too heavy to scoot around, so... That should be fine, though. Power drill. Potentially useful vehicle. Nice and quick, too. Alright, so what do we got over here? We got a main objective and a sub-objective in the same building. Well, once again, if we're careful about how we maneuver this, might not even need to trigger the alarm at all by moving the entire car and the truck over. But then again, it looks like a pretty fast car, and this is alarm 2. Gently. Nope. And that's why I quick save before doing anything related to alarm boxes. Safe. Get out of here. In my way. This game can be pretty meditative, honestly. Just the quiet satisfaction of destructing stuff without a time limit and planning out how you want your rampage to end up going. Vehicle condition is a little bit abstracted. Yes, we've destroyed the entire front of the vehicle where the engine should be, but vehicle condition is more a matter of just how many voxels are present, which is honestly, while it does require a bit of suspension of disbelief, gameplay-wise is probably the better move. Just roll with it, in summary. That's weird, though. That probably shouldn't be that way. There. So... I'm thinking... document there, take that boat, shoot across here, grab that, take this vehicle, back it off of this, drive it down all the way here, deliver it in, get the other vehicle, deliver it in, run to the front of the truck, escape. And in the back. Three, two, one. Dubious if that saved any time whatsoever. And we're out. Classic cars, 100% completion. 7 seconds to spare.
To another place.
Very good. Aw. We're doing a side hustle of farming. I'm home. Looks like we've been working on refurbishing this old car. Bought ourselves a bed. And plastered up the walls up there. Aged automobiles abducted. Lee bought the cars in an auction just a few days ago, and they are gone. Oh, we have a nice bathroom. All hail. All hail the $600 banana. I don't want to bother trying to climb out of that. You don't know me, but I've had a series of break-ins recently. In the last one, I lost 2 very rare classic cars, and guess what? I know who did it. Gordon Wu, that absolute prick, is now bragging to everyone at the club about his 2 new favorite possessions. The break-ins caused me a lot of property damage, and I'd like to let Gordon taste some of his own medicine. Since you're in the demolition industry, I thought, well, I don't know if you do this sort of work, but let me know if it sounds interesting. The car wash. Meanwhile, we have another mission that we can follow up on. I've been up all night digging through the login devices and managed to find a connection to the West Point Marina. I've been able to figure out more on BT. Really? But Lee has a warehouse on West Point. Guess whatever fishy business he's up to, the marina is not the final destination. Thinking the boat GPS device can give me an idea of where he's moving the product, especially if I can compare the recent destinations to the shipping log. Can you get them for me? Ah, the car wash. This is a fun and interesting mission. Because you need to dunk 3 out of 6 vehicles into the drink. You must submerge, out of all these 6 vehicles available, 3 of them. But if you're hardcore and with enough planning, it's absolutely possible to dunk every single one of them in a single 60-second period. And when that plan comes together, it feels phenomenal. Daedalus with some games history on this one. Thank you for taking up the mantle of doing this. I knew some of this stuff. Fun fact, the guy who built the engine for this game, Dennis Gustafsson, who used to work at the company that would eventually become Aegea, which would be bought by Nvidia and become PhysX. Dude knows his stuff. So if you've heard of the middleware physics engine system, PhysX, some of that was Dennis's work, presumably. This is something I do every time I visit this level. I just have to. Not sure if this is art or not. Love it. Toss it over the ledge and drop it onto the glass table. So, last time we were able to move the cars around freely, but no such luck this time. If you try and just, cut around this thing, it being disconnected from the wall also counts as an alarm. So this vehicle must stay here. And we need to plan around that. I don't know if I'm supposed to be able to drive this, but... Considering it has no freaking wheels. Ah, yeah, there it goes. We are losing ground rapidly. I guess we can commit to the letter of the law for this. That's one car in the drink. What is this? Box wine. Expensive chocolates. Shower room. Bathroom. Oh, and a sauna. Anything hidden? Ah, a high-quality thermometer. Dude has his own personal racetrack. This bastard. Yeah, our current quest is we are now essentially playing both sides, and both sides don't know that they're hiring the same person for these jobs. So, Gordon Wu... Mr. Lee won an auction for some classic cars. Gordon Wu thinks that Lee doesn't deserve them and how to steal them. Lee put two and two together and knows that Wu is the person who stole them, but doesn't know that I'm the one that actually did the stealing. So Lee has hired me to take revenge by getting those new cars that I just stole and alongside some of Gordon Wu's other cars and throwing them in the drink. So I am now destroying the asset that I just stole from Wu. Barbecue charcoal made from rare protected hardwood. Always look under the floorboards. I think the levels in this game are just genuinely super beautiful, though. Like, think about how much work it must have taken to sculpt these levels out of individual voxels. High quality food processor, fine silverware, some oysters. What else can we steal from this dude? Oh, right. I forgot one of the main things. So, I said that's kind of surprising to me that there's third person in this game, because that's a new feature since I last played. But the reason there's third person is that was one of the things that they needed to add multiplayer. This is a multiplayer game now. And there's apparently, like, designed for four-person heists and stuff. bit to make sure the route's clear. Shotgun renovation. Shotguns are used for lots of things. I hear that human culture occasionally has them used for officiating weddings. It seems like a weird thing to use, though. Grow It. Stock investment for the recently wealthy by Max Doe. Oh, he's new rich as well. Cool. Bunch of shoes. Anything under the bed? No. Humans occasionally use shotguns in celebratory fashions. Is that what they're for? I say as if I haven't played numerous video games in which you kill people with shotguns. Caviar. Chef knives. Good quality cooking pan. Upper class table manners. Tears. Oil on canvas. Cave dwellers. Same artist. Oh, he's got his own elevator, too. Coin collection, bronze statue. Gradient 3. You can see that there's a pattern in the center there if you look carefully. Not anymore, though. Pixel art paintings are contributed by people. I'm pretty sure these are actually artists, pixel artists that Dennis had create little assets for him. Popcorn maintenance manual. Home theater. Beat the Heartbreaker. Hey, Dennis. Eric the Space Illusionist is a pretty good username. No voxels were harmed in the production of this movie. Alright, yeah, sure. Anything behind the bar? LED gamer bathroom, I guess. Someone left their wallet. How to become a snooker champ in 24 hours. Not like that, let me tell you. It's very easy to just get distracted. Like, the first time you visit a new area, it's very easy to get distracted and just, like, wander. Look at cool stuff. Because, again, like, this game's pretty. I really like the art direction this game has. Expensive vintage sneakers. Vintage band shirt. Okay. That is almost the entire map fully explored at this point. Just gotta look around in, I think, this room and then the one right above me. And then we can actually focus on the task at hand. A dictaphone. I believe that is a item that... just a handheld recorder that records your voice. Bit of an old technology, but considering that we've picked up what is a not Walkman, presumably this game takes place 80s or 90s? Something? Sleeping pills. Special makeup. Okay. How about we actually focus on the task at hand this time? That is an empty pool, so that's not helpful to us, but that is a full pool. So we could potentially drive that vehicle straight forward and dunk it that way. That vehicle, as we've established, is on top of a truck, so we can move that one wherever we need it. We've got that vintage car right there. Okay. Going to quick save, and I'm going to position this car up near the green car that's out on the east end there. Something like this. That way we can hop in, back it up, straight into the drink. And then we've got a non-target vehicle here, which we can position. Okay, a plan is starting to form. We get this vehicle out here and drive it straight forward into that drink. Then hop out, drive this green vehicle and red vehicle in, then take the small blue car, bring it out to this one, drive that vehicle forward and let it fly forward in neutral into that drink, turn around, get this vehicle, drive it into the pond at the front, and that puts us right next to the exit, and then bust through that wall to finish it. And because we can quick save and everything, we can prototype this. We can just test it out and see how it goes. And make the changes as necessary as they come up. Okay. Quick save. Let's go. Sorry about that. Okay. First lesson learned, we need to back that vehicle up more to make it easier to drop it into the water, and also this tree is in the way. So quick save. Quick save again. Quick save once more. Ideally, I should be able to just drive this thing straight forward and have it be done. And it would have been helpful to have more of a straight shot, so... Okay, let's try it again. Dismount earlier, that's a mental note. Come on. I'm probably gonna have to find this hill multiple times no matter what, if this pattern is telling me anything. See if we can do this a little cleaner this time. Now there's an idea. Okay. New plan. I might be able to crash one car into the other, dunking both of them at the same time and keeping me up top. I can also probably back this car up a little bit. Whoa. How long ago did I save? Oh, come on. Didn't follow my own rule. Quick save. Not sure if I can dunk two cars into that lake. But since every second matters, back that up a little bit. Oh. That looks like a faster car. It's also not one of my targets, so... Oh yeah. That'll save us plenty of time. This car could potentially still be useful, so I will put it there for the moment. Point that the correct direction. Quick save. And let's try this again. Idea. I know where I want that blue car to be now. Already. Positioning cars in advance in order to save yourself as much time is going to be a repeating theme of acing levels in this game. And let's also adjust the angle that this car is in, so I can just hold the accelerator. Okay. Somewhere around here. I exit. Let's take a look. Too far. Cool. And so now, with that optimized... Dang it! Failed the quick save again. Yes, okay. With that optimized, we can put this blue car right here, pointed that direction, and bust down this wall. So as you can see, this game is kind of meditative, and if you're aiming for a top score, requires rather meticulous planning. Like, once again, I just want to highlight that my goal here is to dunk 3 vehicles. And so what I could do is I could just drive this forward, dunk one of those 2 cars over there, then drive something else over to my goal and be done. But I like doing these perfectly. If I'm going through all the process of setting up anyway, why not do it right? If I can do that without tripping. Okay. Might have to scrap the idea of doing a double dunk. Although, oh my goodness. How did I not think of just... If I'm going to end up myself in the water anyway, and I can move this car around... Just do this. Too close, too close. That's allowed. That's... okay. I did not know that was allowed. Okay, get you in a secure position. Raise the back bar. The wire never broke. That saves us a lot, actually. Because now we don't need to go down there at all. which saves us maybe 7 seconds of climbing back up the hill. Go. We are getting closer. Dunk number 1. Dunk number 2. Dunk number 3. Dunk number 4. 15 seconds to spare, all targets complete.
To another place.
To Davy Jones's locker. Yeah, that is my best record by a significant margin, because I genuinely did not know that you could dunk that other car in advance by keeping it attached to the truck and dunking the truck as well. So that is a personal record by a significant amount. Got some cars and a scrapyard. Prepping some carrots. Let's go look at our living situation up here. Got some tables and a nice kitchenette. And, uh-oh. We built this wall here, and the bed does not fit. Why do programmers eat carrots? So they can see sharp. Kiki. Dies instantly. Planks can be used to build primitive ramps. You can also attach objects with planks to lift or drag heavy items. Use multiple planks to build complex structures. This is the star of the show of this game. The plank tool. It is so incredibly versatile if you know how to use it. Especially after you have graded a few times. Max length. Max width, and 32 of them. Another thing came to mind. Since the computers didn't include any details on BT, maybe there are documents in his safes that could bring some clarity. You've already done a lot for me, but if you have the time and energy to go get them, I'd appreciate it. She says, as if I'm not. Banui. But yes, the programmers eat carrots so they can see sharp is a joke that's present in the game Picayune Dreams, which I've highlighted previously. Conley's making a reference to that. And also is the last thing that... I'm drawing a blank. What is her name? Izu. Is the last thing Izu said before she triggered my execute 1 out of 100 enemies, and she was unlucky enough to be the 100th. Despite being a boss, she was unlucky enough to be the 100th enemy. So I one-shot her immediately after she made that joke, which was very funny. Alright, what are we doing here? Quick save, and we'll go and bring that to a lower floor. As much or reachable from a lower floor, at least. Since we don't know our routing yet, maybe we do actually want to leave it here, because we could... set it there for now. Primary target office safe. In this mission, we actually need to physically bring a safe to a destination. We have to actually exfiltrate with that safe in tow. And that is our only objective, and everything else is gravy, so to speak. And so if the safe is up there and alarmed, something tells me we won't be able to make this thing safely hang like we can with the key cards. But we can do that. Make it sit there precariously. And then what we can do from there is just tear this place up a bit. Or tear it down, rather. Oh. Whoa. That was cool. What vehicles do we got around here? Lots of construction stuff. Any civilian vehicles, though? Might be faster. That's a dumpster. Doesn't look like we have any civilian vehicles available, so... Sorry, not sorry, Lee. Quick save. And now we are ready to catch that thing and drive off with it. And just to really make sure it's secure, put a little bit of planks there. So that's going to be our final objective, because we need to get that thing to our vehicle anyway. And so we know that our route is going to be something along the line. Go like that, and then we might actually want to just cut straight through this forest. Okay, start a couple fires at least. Oh, it might work better if I pulse it. Nah, not really. Wow, pipe bomb, so cool. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of amazed that they managed to get this game to work multiplayer. Explosives are a perfect gift for a slime. It is not standard, but I don't disagree with you. I'd love to be able to mess around with explosives. Especially if it's one of those round cartoon bombs, because those look like a slime core. And that's cute. I don't know how common this is for other types of slimes, but speaking personally, I have a habit of pack bonding with circular objects. Just round or blobby things I can look at and go, oh, that's cute. Oh, that's a friend. Much in the way that a human would say the same thing about a little doll or something. True fact, not a bit or anything. Not kidding. Okay. Is that part taken care of? It's very cool, just, I really like the spray can. It adds a lot for being able to do this stuff. And when I heard that, what's it called? Lethal Company added a spray can, I was really excited, but I found it really, really frustrating to use. Because, like, you can't spray a can the ground while walking like that in that game. Found it really fiddly and not actually all that helpful. Tile cutter. Alright, I can't remember how to do this. You keep creating from the center, and that makes a fairly useful ramp. And from here... Yeah, it has been a hot minute since I played Lethal Company 2. That and Peak, I really want to get back into. I haven't played since the Roots update. Or, actually, yeah, the last time I played was when the desert was first implemented, so there's roots, and is there another thing? That's them too? Might be. Move that up to the second floor, that way we don't have to descend in order to get to it. And then from there, we can grab that. Okay, where is this? Top floor or bottom floor? It's another safe. Oh god. I did not realize that was another safe. How am I gonna do that? Back this car up and drop it down from there? Like, do the same thing? Reroute a bit? And that also means I want to descend straight into here, so... Nice and precarious, just how I want it. Okay, I think it's time for us to do our first attempt at this. And see where the problems lie. Before I commit to this. Save. Listed up the wrong part. Yeah, come on. Damn it. Okay. Let's actually secure you. And then those planks will break when I actually move this thing properly. Cool. So I'll be able to shoot that, and that will cause it to swing forward, which will put it in a nice position for me to drop it into the vehicle as well. I think we're ready. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, we've got 2 keys coming up right after another. There's 1. There's 2. Unfortunate. uh. I do not want restart mission, but I need to clean up the ground over there. The biggest issue here is that the truck is just tripping over detritus. More than anything else. Another issue. We can loosen this thing better. Actually, we can use planks once again to achieve our purposes. Now it is genuinely free hanging, and we can drop it in by just hammering the plank and then jumping down. Okay. Idea refined. And once again, let's try it. Come on. Perfect. 8 seconds to spare. 20 minutes of planning, 60 seconds of chaos. That's the structure of this game. And I think that's really neat. Spectacular break-in at Lee. Perpetrators got away with heavy security equipment. How's the bed problem going here? Unsolved. I guess I am just sleeping outside of my room. No. Thanks. Now I just need to find someone who can work a safe. I'll get back to you in a bit and let you know how it goes. Let's just look at what this mission is, but I think I'm probably going to call it before. Call it here. Wired alarm boxes, some of which seem to be on boats, so those can be driven around. If I remember correctly. Yeah. So I could potentially... That one is attached... Oh, hey. Someone managed to leave their gaming console under the bridge somehow? Not movable. And if I remember, there's one more quite well hidden valuable that's worth picking up. Anything out on this island? Any pirate's treasure or anything? Nah, it doesn't look like it. Alright. I think that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you for joining me on taking our first look at this game that is honestly quite close to my heart. Teardown. And hell, if it's multiplayer, I might see if I can get one of my friends to join me with this, because once again, that's completely news to me. Alright then. A crumbled heart just for you. Reinstalled Teardown. Hell yeah. And then there's challenges, it looks like, with different, destroy as many voxels as possible. Timer starts when 1,000 are broken. Standard fetch mission, but a side version. Various DLC. Pretty active modding scene for this. Like a circular cutter, that's kind of cool. Lightning, telekinesis. Just straight up a super beam that cuts through everything and catches it on fire and melts it. Shotgun that fires hooks. Cool stuff. Cool game. Games are made by people. And while this rolls, I'll go look at who we can raid to. Oh, if I tab away, it stops. We will look at the credits next time. Who can we raid to? Hexymaniac, a fellow from the Bad Game Hall of Fame community, has been doing PS2 challenge number 11, Project Eden. I have not heard of Project Eden before. Apparently a PS2 game. So, looks like some kind of sci-fi something. Third person. Tell him the slime sent you. Thanks as always for tuning in, and until next time.
To another place.